fast, life moving in slow-mo. I'm a god, but I actually don't know. Homie, better put your pride aside. I'm a Benz, get more like a Volvo. Your best stuff looks like my words. Synapses, fire, and burst. Got the whole crew with me, about to do damage. You know we ain't average. I ain't gonna say this again, but it's in my time. Better look in my eyes. I'm a genius in the skies with my heart on my sleeve. And you force you a block to a king in his prime. Everybody got a line. Sit back with the stars in line. I finesse like my life on the nine. Was a diamond in the rough, and now I shine.
No one could stop us, they'll try, but they won't. Nada nos puede parar. Oh no, we're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. Oh, sleeping giants. Sleeping giants. Yeah. Shutting it down. Been in the ground and my people all up in this place. Spinning this thing. Go to my rank. Royalty up in my veins. I'm loco, think I'm so cold. I say something, ain't no going back. Now they ask where Kiki's at. I'm like, you can't hang with that. 쏟아져 빛이 멀게 된 눈이 멈추지 않아. Once we go, 내게 더운 멜로 모든 뼈 빨리 달려. 넌 못 따라와. True damage we do it. True damage 보여줄게. 뭐든 쉽게. 이기든 지든 my crew make the beat. No one could stop us. They'll try, but they won't. Nada nos puede parar. Oh no.
Shattering time, I might just leave you behind. Homie, you stuck on rewind. You just quit sleeping on mine. You got your back on recline. When I damage your delicate spine, please don't act out, shy and surprise. They be like, what you mean? What is your winning scheme? I got a giant team. Niggas my self-esteem. Run it back, man. They think they go hard, I'm like, come again. You run at a time and I'm busting in. While you stumbling, I got this blade in my hand for your punishment. We're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. It's not the way we're weak, but we coming right back. This time you're gonna see how we do it like that. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. Oh, sleeping giants. Sleeping giants.
Hello everyone and welcome to the GameTyrant Esports 2012 Winter Series 2021. My bad, I'm stuck in a year before. Anyway, my name is Brock Proden Rubino and this is my good friend Brandon Grizz Martin. His first time actually casting on the desk. Jahadre was not able to make it here today, so I asked him if he wanted to fill in and he jumped right up and said yes, so he's here. And we're going to, what did it say, cut your teeth?
Something of the sort.
All right. Anyway, we got two great teams here playing today. Hopefully it'll be an exciting matchup between Mikasa Dudes and Retired Gamers. And did you happen to look up anything on the team, see what they're playing? Do you have an idea what you think they're going to be going for team-wise today?
So before the cast, we did actually spend a little bit of time sitting down and looking up the players and the champions that they tend to prefer. I'm not quite sure what to expect, but I am excited for a couple things. And
there's some spice I would like to see.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't want to say anything yet because I could go on a 20-minute rant and then we get to the champ select and I don't see it.
Yeah. But I'm really hoping we see some new picks, some new things we haven't seen in the tournament yet. I'm not going to say what champ I would like to see, but he came out a few weeks ago. But anyway, hopefully we get to it. As we get into champ selects here, we see the first ban is Aphelios.
Not really a surprise there. I mean, Aphelios has just been kind of stomping both the highest levels of competitive play and solo queue. So, I mean,
Yeah, you seem a lot more with organized teams because they'll protect him and allow him to scale up and do the damage we all know Aphelios can do in the mid to late game.
Absolutely. Pair him with like a Thresh. He has a very safe laning phase. He can sit and farm for 20 minutes and carry a team.
Yeah, he's definitely an AD carry that needs somebody to keep people off of him. Like you're saying, like a Thresh. Leona's not even bad too because she can kind of engage on people and stop it. We have a Yone ban. Oh,
And there's the
and
Thresh.
there's the Thresh gone. Yeah. Vel'Koz. I don't see them banning Vel'Koz. They are. Okay. Someone does play Vel'Koz.
Something past what we were analyzing earlier. Did not expect the Vel'Koz, but here it is. And yeah, a surprising one for that. I'm kind of surprised about the Thresh ban too. You banned the Aphelios, so not really seeing why that was necessary, but maybe that's a comfort pick for somebody.
Yeah, Samuel Gray does play a lot of Thresh, so that's probably why you're seeing that ban right now. Hecarim's always a good ban, especially if you don't have a mobile AD carry or necessarily a mobile team. You know, he's got engage. He's pretty tanky. If he's not behind, he can just go in and drain tank the team. Seraphine ban, definitely. That's an S plus pick right there. Definitely want to ban her. The Anivia. That is a Mr. One Bear favorite. I'm glad he actually gets to play it this time. Normally people ban it against him, so that'll be fun to see. Now another power pick with the Udyr. I know that's a favorite of yours.
I do enjoy the Wild Man from the North. Pretty standard pick there. I was hoping to see something else. This is what we were talking about earlier, but I can't be too surprised that you want to come out with your first pick and pick some real power.
Yeah, if your first pick, you definitely want to get at least one power pick. That's usually how the pros do it. That's how amateur teams should be doing it too. Amumu, okay.
Interesting choice. He, to my recollection, was nerfed not too shortly after the
But
patch.
he was just buffed this
Was
patch.
he?
Yes.
Okay, so
I guess they feel it might be enough damage that he can carry himself a little better when he goes in those team fights, gets those big ults.
well, and Amumu tiers with Sunfire Aegis is just disgusting, right? I mean, that's tons of damage.
Yeah, definitely. He gets so tanky, he just sits on you and he'll just burn you down. I like it with the Anivia and the Senna. That's a lot of pick you can get with the Amumu. It might make his job easier. As you can see, their team's fairly mobile with Israel. I mean, Udyr doesn't have dashes, but he runs like a madman, so it's harder to hit shots on him, skill shots.
I mean, pair it with the Turbo Chem Tank, and he's like the fastest champion on the Rift. He's going to run people down. What I'm seeing here is that retired gamers wants to be more aggressive. They're looking for picks. Mikasa dudes, they look like they're picking around. We want to scale. We want to farm our lanes. I do find the Pantheon interesting, but I think this is probably a support, right?
Possibly. I don't know if they play much. But it could go top. I have seen it top. Most likely, I would think it's support. Okay, Shen in the top. Interesting. You can deliver a Shen in with Udyr. He runs in on your team. Shen ults, immediately gets access to the back line if he's getting in there. I think Mikasa Dudes is looking more to team fight from their team comp. And definitely Retired Gamers is, like you're saying, is looking for pick or to poke the team down before they engage. Because that Anivia Amumu team fight ability with all that AoE and the wall and the CC they have, that's going to be really tough. But they are going to have quite a tanky team for that front line.
Oh, and Shen has a couple targets to be his dive buddy. You have the Leona who can go in on her E with the Shen backing her up. That's tons of CC. She's going to be super tanky with the shield. A Riven top. Okay, so that does mean that this Pantheon support. And I'm interested to see how that plays out.
One thing I really like about the teams They both can just hard engage you. A lot of teams you'll get drafts where you have a great team comp except there's no engage. You cannot get on anybody. This team, both of them, multiple ways to engage.
See, that's why I find the Senna and the Anivia interesting. It almost feels like there's a slight identity crisis going on with Mikasa dudes. You have someone like Anivia who wants to farm for, 20, 25 minutes, hit a couple items, and completely shut down a team fight, right? On the other hand, you have Pantheon support and an Amumu jungle. That tells me that you're trying to be aggressive early, so what we might see is Amumu really favoring that bottom lane early.
I think definitely you're going to see some camp in the bot lane. Senna doesn't stop scaling. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, that retired gamers, they'll want to focus and not allow Senna to scale. But I also think you want to get that Riven ahead on Mikasa dudes. Because if you get a Riven ahead against a Shen, I mean, what are you going to do against that? She's just going to get to that point where she outscales you. Given that Shen does a lot of damage, but Riven's mobility, her shielding, I mean, she can really make it a rough lane for Shen if he gets behind. But if he's even or ahead, he could get to the point he's so tanky, she can't mess with him.
Very true. And again, with the Riven top, I find it to be a very interesting pick. One thing I do like about their team comp is they're very much Amumu goes in, ults. Riven jumps on top of everybody, ults. Anivia drops her ult on everybody. Pantheon ults in.
Yeah.
Mikasa dudes have in my opinion, a really good front-to-back team fight. And I think it's going to make it really hard for retired gamers to fight that early objective control, looking for dragons. The last thing you want to do is get caught in that pit, get ulted by a Mumu, get walled in, get Anivia ulted, and then if you can even turn it around and do some damage onto their front line, you have the Senna ult.
Yeah, I think you definitely want to poke them down before you fight with the Zoe and Ezreal. I mean, if you're ahead and your tanks are just that tanky, it doesn't matter. You can engage anytime you want. But if everything's even, if you're behind, you're going to have to poke them down or get a pick.
Right. And luckily with the Zoe, we've all seen time and time again, one sleepy trouble bubble, and that person's dead.
Yeah. That is one champ you don't want ahead. Because if she's ahead, just one Q can pretty much take you out of the game.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And a really solid pick.
Oh, yeah. A good Zoe is annoying. There's certain champs in the game, and even if they aren't killing you, if you're annoyed, you know they're good. Like a Nunu. He just runs through your lane constantly. He may not kill you, but he's always running through the lane, constantly ganking you and threatening you, so you get scared to walk forward. So as Zoe, you're walking through an unwarded part of the jungle, and you got bubbles flying and paddle stars flying at you. You just get super annoyed by it. It's frustrating.
Oh, absolutely. And I cannot wait for the mid-game power spike, because I feel like all of these champions, once they get that item and a half, really come into their own, when they have their full kit at level 6, team fights are going to be wild. If I'm retired gamers, I'm probably not trying to front-to-back team fight. Perhaps you have like a Zoe on a flank. I mean, even a Shen ult onto a Zoe who's flanked around can cause a lot of problems from the back for the back line. Because once you get past that front line of Pantheon, Amumu, and Riven, Anivia and Senna do a lot of damage and offer a lot of utility. Not the tankiest champions.
No, definitely not. I am interested to see if we're going to see the new Ezreal build that's become popular recently. Duskblade is first item.
Really?
Yeah, it actually does quite a bit of damage as you build into the build. So I'll be interested to see if we see that. I would hope you're going to go that. That seems to be the good one right now.
So is that like a Duskblade Essence Reaver type build? Because, I mean, I feel like you're pretty remiss to not grab a Sheen item on Ezreal.
I believe you go Essence Reaver. I think you can go Essence Reaver first, depending, or you can go Duskblade first, depending how the lane's going. But I'm wondering if he'll do that build because Amumu will get pretty tanky. But the rest of the team isn't super tanky. I mean, Riven doesn't want to be poked out before she fights. She's not going to build a ton of armor. So it can still be pretty good against her. So it'll be interesting to see what they choose.
I'm definitely interested to see where the junglers start their paths. Generally speaking, Amumu does not seem like the kind of champion that's going to fight a Udyr for Scuttle early, so we might see them pathing in opposite directions, which, if I'm Udyr, I'm thinking a quick 3 camps into maybe a gank top, try and get your Shen ahead early.
And the jungle changes have came in. So power farming may not be as good as it was because you don't get as much XP or gold. You might see some early ganks from Udyr, where normally you tend to just clear the first way through unless there's some easy ganks. So I'm wondering, like you're saying, he's going to do a few camps and then start to look for some ganks instead of just power farming, or if he's going to still stick with power farming.
Absolutely, and I feel like in the early game, the Zoe should have the lane priority to help him potentially push that early farm ahead of the Amumu, potentially seeing a double scuttle into multiple ganks, into a full jungle clear. You know, as a jungle main, I'm always interested to see what other junglers do.
Yeah, you definitely talk about the jungle with a little more excitement than they do. All right, here we go with the game. Looks like we got are they going to invade on both sides of the? That'd be interesting to see them invade both sides and nobody's there. But
I would love to see a level 1 team fight right now. Oh, I would love to see it. I feel like both of these teams with the ability to lock in that early CC level 1.
Yeah, because they can get CC from Pantheon and Leona. Zoe could start Bubble, but that ruins her early clear. But if it gets you a kill, it gets you a kill, right?
Right, and generally speaking, against the lane matchup of Anivia, I mean...
Oh, they are late invading. Is it just a ward? Okay, it's just to get a ward. So now they're going to be able to track where the jungler's at the start.
And this is what I was hoping to see. I was really hoping to see Udyr start his blue and work his way bot lane. We all know that Leona can set up some amazing early ganks, and I feel like this is setting us up for an exciting game.
Yeah, I'd like to see some early ganks in the bot lane before Senna can get too strong. See if they can shut her down. Because, like you said, Leona at level 2 can do some pretty good engages. So by the time he gets around down there, they should be at least level 2, depending if he does a full clear or not.
I'm not perfectly versed on the Leona versus Pantheon and the support matchup. A part of me wants to lean towards the Leona with just the raw CC that she brings in, but we all know that Pantheon can be very safe with his engages, being able to block all the damage coming at him.
It is a fasting. Oh, they have an engage on Ezreal right away. The ignite is burnt. So they only get down to a little below half power. They do win that trade very heavily.
Generally speaking, that's what you're going to do to an Ezreal early, right? Ezreal not really known for coming out of the gate and doing a ton of damage, right? I feel like the ignite might have been a little premature, but you know what? It did give them a lot of lane priority. But they are hard shoving this lane, and Udyr is at his red buff, so we might see what I talked about earlier with the early gank bottom. We'll have to see what the vision looks like.
Well, and they didn't even get Ezreal's summoner.
In the top lane, we have the bruiser slap fight that I love about top lane. You just have 2 champions trading around the creep waves.
Yeah, top laners seem to always have the highest damage in the early game. Like, and oh, we have another engage. Really good trade into Pantheon.
Yeah, the damage traded back. He doesn't have his E. Here comes the Udyr. He's got his double buffs, and
He might be able to get him if he flat. No, he goes
Pantheon
back
goes
in.
back in, tries to get the greedy kill, but doesn't get it, and
First
gives
blood.
up first blood.
Yeah, I think they should have probably could have given that to Ezreal, but I mean, better to be safe. Make sure the kill goes. He's not getting away, or kill Ezreal, because Ezreal was like 1 minion attack from death. So a really good play in the bot lane.
We have a flash mid, responded by with another flash. Udyr's behind him, but we've got both junglers coming in. The Agnivia's popped. The Udyr is just training her, and that's a kill mid.
We have Riven coming down from behind, though. She could get the cleanup.
Oh, we've got another flash, and you gotta hate that about Zoe, right? The fact that you don't ever really have her flash, do you?
I do believe she used 3 flashes in that fight.
Just Zoe things. Just Zoe things.
Well, yeah, with Riven almost to get that kill, that would have really set her up for to be able to push that a lead into the top lane if she would have got that kill.
Yeah, and as it stands, Shen was able to catch his wave before tower is up about 5 CS now, and could potentially push this further.
Really good trade by Mr. One Baron and Nivea there. Just got a good chunk on Zoe without her returning any damage. She does have to play a lot more careful now. She does not have any summoners. So if a Mumu lands a bandage on her, Anivia can follow up with a stun, and I'm pretty sure she's dead right after that. Shouldn't be an escape.
That is very true. However, Anivia doesn't. We see another engaged bot lane, and that's just a kill over to the Leona, and we might see a double kill here, but Pantheon is looking for this Ezreal. Ooh,
Oh, and he gets him with the Q snipe. I think Leona wins this fight, though, doesn't she?
Well, we get to see the two supports fight back and forth. Leona, unfortunately, low on mana.
Oh, nice bandage toss hit right on Shen. A kill for Mono in the top lane.
And it can't be understated that bandage toss by Jimmy Boobjob inside of the creep wave, perfectly landing on the Shen. That was an excellent bandage toss.
It was a really good gank. And no ward to see a Mumu coming down. You got to ward early enough, like you just to make sure he can't get that bandage toss, because you should be able to get back off and put the ward up. Oh, we got another kill in the bot lane.
And this is wild. The Udyr just ran in front of the Sienna right at Senna. Sorry, my words. Right past the Senna into the Pantheon, and just got the kill.
Think that they were not looking at the minivan, maybe?
Perhaps. I mean, that's a problem.
The dude does just run at you. You should be able to see a big screaming guy running at you, right?
Yeah, there's a giant wild man coming out of the woods trying to kill your teammate. I mean, not the most subtle champion.
That's going to give them the dragon in the bottom lane. Nobody around even stop it after Senna goes down, because you're not going to try to take that from them. It would be a 3v2 at that point.
No, and the lane state mid made it almost impossible for the Anivia to rotate over. Zoe would have gotten there first. I don't think there's ever a universe where a Mumu at level 5 can come in and challenge Udyr for that dragon super free after the support kill.
Zoe just chunked Mr. One Bear out. We got another fight in the bot lane. Leona's getting low. She managed to flash out before she does take any more damage or get CC'd again. This bot lane is spicy. It is fighting non-stop.
It is the kind of fiesta that we love to see. Non-stop aggression. That time it didn't work out for the Leona, and we saw why. The Pantheon E blocking all the damage. Meanwhile, you're standing in it. You're taking damage from him. You're taking damage from the Senna.
Yeah, and they've got to be really careful right now. Pantheon does have the serrated Dirk right now, and there is no armor. Well, there is a bit of armor in the bottom lane, but it's not going to be enough to stop Pantheon from chunking you out with Senna autoing behind. So Leona's not quite tanky enough to just take that that damage.
Oh, absolutely. And if there's a support that really works with the starving Senna strat, Pantheon has to be one of them.
Mono coming out on the better end of that trade against Turbo Virgin. You know, Shen does a lot of damage, so you do have to be really careful playing around him because he can also block your auto attack. So if you go in, he pops his W as long as his sword is on top of him, and you go in Riven, you want to get those auto attacks in between your abilities so you can get the big chunk of stacking attack damage she gets. Well, if he's blocking that and auto attacking you, you automatically lose the trade at that point.
Oh, we see Udyr potentially, no, most definitely being...
oh, Shen? No.
No, not good enough.
No, he's too low.
Hard punish for the invade, but I like to see it.
Yeah, mid did not have priority to be invading at that point, so there's no way Zoe's going to respond when she's got a wave about to crash into the turret. A little greedy, trying to get the Raptors.
Oh, absolutely. And
good
sometimes
return damage
you like
from
to see
Anivia.
Yes, on the 1v1, straight up out-dueling the Zoe is crazy to me, but Riven taking some free tower damage, really wants those minions, probably going to push the wave in and go back, so she's not too worried about that damage.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they don't have track on Udyr right now, but definitely not afraid that he was going to come gank her at that point. She is actually the same level, so. Oh,
we have the Udyr in mid. He's got the turbo chem tank, and we're seeing the teleport. The Riven comes in. Zoe's super low and dead.
This is exactly what you don't want to happen if you're retired gamers. You do not want to see a Riven that's 2-0. That's actually really scary because she's going to do that stuff, but it's going to be your entire team when she dives in full combos and just melts somebody.
Absolutely. I think that Shen's early itemization, he went hard for this plated steel caps, I believe they're called now.
Yeah, so, it's going to be really good on the 1v1. Yeah, it's going to help him knock me chunks so hard from the auto attack.
Yeah, I believe he's fairly safe and even feels confident to go in for a trade.
I mean, yeah, look, you can see the difference between having those plated steel caps. You can see her auto attacks were not doing nearly enough damage. But we have more action in the bot lane. Pantheon is getting low. We have
Leona low as well. We have the Senna ulti. Udyr just running around in the middle of the team. That's what he does. Unfortunately, a little out of position there. The Leona probably suffers for it too.
Man, Pantheon with a double kill. That's going to be really scary. A 3-kill Pantheon who's actually farming. Oh, Zoe comes in and just blows a moo-moo out of the water.
I mean, that's something you always have to be worried about with the Zoe, right? Is that any moment she comes out of the fog of war, I believe they didn't have vision on it with the pink ward and the tri-bush, and she does stuff like that. If that had landed, that Senna's under half health, easily.
Yeah, that gives Zoe 2 kills now. That's going to give her a lot of damage when she goes back and buys. She might be able to one-shot somebody now with just an E and a Q.
True. However, compared to her lane opponent, I don't think that 1 kill really puts her that far ahead. She's currently almost 20 CS down to the Anivia. The rotation was obviously very much needed. It alleviated the pressure on the Ezreal, who would have been 1v3 potentially. But unfortunately, I don't think it puts her that much farther ahead in this 1v1 in the mid. However, it's not a 1v1. Udyr has done a really excellent job of...
Bot lane's rotating up to the middle.
We're going to see another pick. Totally Leona ripped. Going too far deep. The Shen ulti coming in, but that might have been a little wasted.
I think just gives them dragon priority here. I mean, they have no Leona ultimate, so
no Shen
a lot
ultimate.
of their engage.
And currently no vision, but Anivia looking very low. Again, these are the things that Zoe will do to you.
Yeah, I don't know if you fight for this unless you can blow somebody up real quick. Amumu's ult is getting close to being back up. Riven's ult is up. So and they have Anivia's ult, of course, so she can zone the whole team if they come in. I really think they need Leona and Shan's ult to do this, so I think that you just give up the dragon right now.
Anivia went back, but retired gamers don't know this. They don't have the vision to confirm it. So in that moment, they probably could have gone for the dragon, but now Anivia is making her way back towards mid.
Yeah, it looks like everyone, they just backed off and let him clear the vision. Oh,
We have an engage on Amumu, looking for a good ulti, catches 2 people. Ribbon jumps in, ult running. And that is a dead
this was a
Udyr.
fight they did not want to take. Udyr goes down. Now they're about to get Shen. I don't think he can get out. No, he is down too by one bear. Gets the kill. And that is for sure a free dragon this time.
Oh,
or
but not.
Not. Oh, they're just pulling it out.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm just, the way they all backed up, I thought they were going to leave. But yeah, that should be free. I mean, Ezreal's not going to get that.
Well, Mikasa dudes didn't necessarily have the vision on Zoe either, right? So you have to pull it out of the dragon pit for fear of a paddle star coming over out of the fog of war and blowing somebody up.
Yeah, there's a little under a 2K gold lead. The gold is on 2 of the carries, so that makes you really happy if you're Mikasa dudes. You know, Anivia getting ahead with gold, Riven being ahead. I mean, that's a really good scenario for you. And if they can keep snowballing and push this lead even further, you know, Senna's gonna catch up on those souls. She's gonna become even stronger, even though she has no kills right now. But I think it's just a ticking time bomb for retired gamers to get this game back. I mean, it's only a small lead right now, but you know, it's enough of a lead you can blow it up and take advantage with who the gold is on.
Oh, absolutely. During Champ Select, we talked about it. You have the Anivia and the Senna. They're going to keep scaling. Senna scales infinitely. They have the better late game team come. Before that dragon fight, gold was completely even. And I do have to question throwing lives away for a Mountain Drake. But, you know, your ADC, Crazy Pang, he was bot lane catching a wave.
I think you give up that dragon at that point. You're missing some key ultimates. You definitely want Leona's ultimate if you're going to engage in this fight, because you've got to hit the back line and immediately blow one of them up. You've got to get right on them to win these fights, or they're just going to CC you and wall you off, and you know, Senna's going to heal, she's going to do her damage at that point. So I think you got to get the pick, like we were talking about. You got to get that pick. You don't want to just full on let them engage on you, which is what happened to Udyr.
And in the mid lane, unfortunately, this is the trappings of an Udyr, one that I'm very familiar with. You're very strong, but your engage is to run straight at somebody.
Yeah, it seems like Anivia is one of the best champs. Or Udyr is one of the
we have
best.
an engaged top lane. The Amumu, who was sitting in the bush for quite a while, gets the bandage toss. Okay, we have the hard dive, but the Ribbon's just getting further and further ahead.
Yeah, this Shen he's not tanky enough to take this on. Maybe now that he has his full item, he'll do all right. But Ribbon has 3 kills over him, so it's gonna be really hard to deal with her in a 1v1 situation.
Oh, absolutely. And even worse in a 2v1 situation.
Oh, definitely. You're not tanky enough at that point. But what I was saying before, Udyr, it seems like that's one of the worst champions to go against is Anivia. Not only you have CC, you can stun him, you can AoE the area, slow him down, you put a wall up to stop him from leaving or coming in. Like it seems like a nightmare for Udyr.
It's one of the reasons why the Turbo Chem tank you see almost every Udyr in any form of competitive play. It is a must-buy. And unfortunately, there are just some champions, and Mikasa dudes have quite a few of them, that can kind of shut you down. The Senna can hit you with a snare. The Anivia can wall you off, drop her ulti, drop a stun. Riven's highly mobile. I don't hate the pick. It's obviously very strong, but it is being put through its paces.
Yeah, I think the best idea was what he did at the start was camping bot lane. 'Cause that and top, probably your easiest 2 lanes to gank if top's overextended. But I don't even think it's worth your time to go mid against Anivia, especially when she hits level 6. Unless Zoe can land a bubble, then yeah, go right in and get her. But if you're just running at her, you're not going to get Anivia at this point.
Currently, Udyr just hovering bot. Looking to drop the Rift Herald. Assassin main has done an excellent job. Oh, we have an engaged bot lane. Pantheon jumps in, drops the E, super safe. We have teleports. We might see a 5v5 in this bot lane.
Yeah,
Zoe's not here, though.
Far away, but she might be able to clean up if someone's low, but it looks like they are handily winning this fight.
Absolutely. Double kill on Senna, Fortnite aimer. You just pushing that clock forward. The champion that's only going to get stronger and stronger as the game progresses, as more gold gets funneled onto her.
Yeah, it was actually a really great fight to turn on and kill them on this. Kill them because now they got another free dragon. Excuse me. So now they're at 2. I mean, you don't even have to stop them taking the next one. You can just farm and try to take some towers and let them. But when they get to that after the 3rd dragon, you have to. So unless you can get some picks and stop the 3rd dragon, put you at 2. I mean, they're so far behind right now. If you don't poke someone down, you might as well just let them have this dragon and try to take something else on the other side of the map. Because you're not going to win a direct engagement right now. Riven is massive. 4 kills, 2.5 or 1.5 items. She might, yeah. You don't want to hard engage. They have too much CC, and you have to poke them down.
Oh, we have the Leona in mid dropping the ult miss, but does get onto the Anivia, and I'm pretty sure this is a free kill.
See, that is perfect. Leona's the one that needs to engage on a champ like that because you can't just get away from it. If she lands that stun or the slow, she immediately follows up with the Zenith Blade, stuns you. Zoe follows up with the bubble and nukes you.
Assassin main being kind of cheeky, running around in the enemy red side. Pretty safe in that scenario. You know the Anivia is dead. You know that your team is there to back you up. To the credit of the laners on Retired Gamers, aside from Sectality, Turbo Virgin was able to keep up in CS.
Spot right here.
This is a really bad spot and punished.
Yeah, Udyr walked over a ward as he came in. Probably couldn't get out because there was someone in the bush. So there's not much you can do right now when you're Senna and you get 3 people coming in to dive on you. Although it was 2, but it's just too much CC and you don't do enough damage at this point to make them not try.
Right, and as we had said before, she scales, she's going to do a lot of damage, but she's not exactly someone who's going to survive getting 3 people jumping on her.
Yeah, you know, ADCs are squishy, and that's what they get to have all the damage, but none of the ability to live, so.
But as I was saying before, to the credit of the laners, I mean, if you look at Crazy Peng compared to Samuel Gray, oh, we have a pause here.
I don't want to say, though, Zoe's looking pretty good, too, with 3 kills. She does have the shutdown on 1 bear on the last kill.
That is absolutely true, and has a little bit of a shutdown herself.
I'm not sure what the gold is for each player right now, but I would assume she's probably around even with Anivia. We're close to it.
Somewhat close. Like I said, to the credit of the laners in Retired Gamers, they were, even though they're taking a lot of these bad fights, I had credited the Udyr being able to control objectives. He's gotten pretty much every Rift Herald. Unfortunately, he dropped a bot, didn't get the tower, and ended up getting turned on in a 4v5 team fight. Zoe was nowhere to be found. So the Rift Herald kind of wasted there. Luckily, a lot of the gold lead that Mikasa dudes have could be a lot worse if the CS was also that much higher, right?
Yeah, but they're fairly even. I'd have to look and see what they are again, but I don't think anyone has like a 50, 60, 70 CS lead from what I remember, so.
Slight numbers might not be totally, but when I had checked, the Ezreal was about 40 CS up on the Pantheon. That's not a small amount of CS. That's about 3 kills worth of gold.
Exactly 40. Look at you.
Wow.
First day at the desk, already remembering things.
My brain is just, I just had a brilliant mind moment, and the math was flying across. And
you know, although Retired Gamers is behind, I've liked some of the plays they've made while they're behind, like getting Senna in the top. Like, you can't win a straight-up team fight, so you find the pick. You kill the ADC, get them off the map so they're losing experience and gold. And get some gold, more gold back into your team, so you can try to get this thing back to you. I really like it. I hope they continue to pull off some of these picks. The best thing you can do is just keep picking them off. Every time someone's alone, just kill them. Send a couple people, kill them. As long as there's no objectives or anyone's threatening something elsewhere, take what you can, what they're going to give you. Because once you get back in the game, it won't be as scary to team fight them, because you'll have the tankiness and the damage to deal with it. Right now, I don't think they can deal with a straight-up 5v5 team fight without the poke. But if they hard engage in you, you don't get time to poke, and your poke has to hurt for them to care. So,
absolutely. And one thing I love about this match is that Retired Gamers, if you're looking at the kill score, I believe it was 12-6 in kills. Between 3 and 4K gold lead that Mikasa dudes have. And a lot of times what you see is teams will shut down, and they do what I like to call play to not lose and not play to win. So it's 8-13.
When you're losing, you have to take bigger chances. If you don't, you slowly bleed out. Like, you have to go for something. Even if it may not work, if you have an opening for a split second, you have to take it. If you don't, the team ahead can just slowly bleed you out because you can't straight up fight them.
Absolutely. And that's what we saw with the pick on center, right?
Yeah.
They're still in the mindset that they're going to take the initiative to make plays and not be discouraged. And that's really what they need to get back into this game, because the gold lead is just about 3K, but it's not an insurmountable amount of gold. You're not out of it yet.
So what do you think about the Moo pick so far? Think it's worked out the way they've wanted?
Absolutely. It showed out really well in team fights. He's had some really good ganks. I feel like this must be highly practiced. Words again. I'm trying to learn how to use them. When he went top lane, caught the Shen inside the creep wave, I had this moment where I'm like, yes, this is someone who has practiced this. This team knows exactly what they're trying to do, and they have been executing it. And like I said, they have a very scary team.
Right here we got in the mid lane, we have Mr. One Bear overextended.
Wait, he just gives up? Okay,
yeah,
so
he didn't know.
Right.
He knew they were top side, so following that's really smart not to, because he probably dies if he does.
Right, absolutely. The Fog of War and Nivea flashes into it and decides, you know what, I'm not going to face check that. And that was a good call.
Like, see, when you have an organized team, you can run to the side where your team is or your jungler, and they'll actually help. Solo queue, your jungler probably just runs off and kills the next camp. When you have an organized team, you know they're going to collapse toward you because you can call them. So you have to play way more safe, and it was a really good call on him to turn around and not go through.
Absolutely, and what this does is this gives Mikasa dudes priority on the next dragon coming up. Oh, we see the Sleepy Trouble Bubble over the corner. Paddlestar comes out, but on the opposite end of that fight, Jimmy Boob Job stuck in their team. He's quite tanky and has been surviving for quite a while.
Senna is just healing him up over and over
and oh my, no.
What beautiful play initially by Jimmy Boobjob. Oh, wow, that damage from Zoe. More than half lives.
And that's going to
Fortnite
make this
game.
dragon so scary, right? Because you know the Zoe's still there, and it's one more paddle star before someone on your team dies. However, what we see is the Pantheon aggressively flashing over the pit. Riven, committed to chasing the Zoe off, says, no, this is our dragon. And
what I wanted to say about that fight, Jimmy Boobjob went in, got a great engage on Israel, managed to kill him right away, and Senna just right behind him, healing him and doing damage the whole time. Like, he was dead without the healing. Like, that was actually an amazing play to heal your tank up and use that tankiness to give him the extra health.
Absolutely.
Oh, and again, Udyr gets caught in his own jungle, and the CC train just destroys him. Like, you can't do anything like in those circumstances.
very
Immediately-
unfortunate. We're going for a Baron, but yeah, going back to what you were saying, if you had told me this with me not watching it, I never would have believed it. Amumu surviving forever. They've got a really fast Baron take. That Ezreal ulti a little to the right, and that might be a blue side Baron.
I'm surprised they didn't actually get in closer and try to engage on the squishies. I think they could have possibly taken that fight toward, even if they got Baron like right afterwards, at least tried to get off a couple of them. I guess they're kind of worried about the damage output that can come back through on them if they don't immediately like get the pick. So better to be safe than sorry, but I think you might have wanted to try to get a pick with Leona engaging in with her Zenith Blade, maybe follow up with a Zoe bubble.
Right, Shen still had his ulti. Leona goes in, Shen ults her, potentially killing some squishies.
Oh
but
my.
you see Pantheon getting chunked to
That
half.
damage.
Again, it is crazy how much damage. So one paddle star. But to my earlier point, this was something that we had talked about in Champ Select. This team comp from Mikasa dudes on the objective control is so scary. You have
one misstep,
and you're dead.
yeah, you're done. I like pushing between mid and top. Get multiple lanes pushing in, and you're not probably going to engage on a Riven and an Anivia like that. There's just too much damage between them two. And then you've got the Pantheon, Senna, and Amumu. You can't really engage on that either. You kind of just have to give up all these towers. There's not much you can do unless you can poke someone down again. And we've seen the damage from Zoe poking, but there's never anyone to go in and finish it off right afterwards. So, we need to really see the CC train pull through Zoe and Leona. Just get on that one person and blow them up and turn the fight around. I mean, look at the damage that one bear is doing to the tank.
It's pretty high. Now, to be fair to Turbo Virgin, he did not sign up to fight an Anivia. If you look at his itemization, it's pure armor. He was looking to fight a Riven, not a frozen bird. And it shows by how much damage he's taking. I feel like if you're retired gamers right now, you need to go. You're going to slowly bleed out tower after tower, even if it's you lose the trade in a 3-for-4 or a scenario like that. When you see them split, I feel like you need to hit that go button on somebody. I
think right now they should be hard engaging on somebody. It doesn't matter who. Riven's bottom, take all 5.
Wait, we see that Assassin main is swung around and they are hitting the go button. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to lose. They already lost top tower.
Then you rotate over on them, and it's in your favor now. If you can get another engage, even just a Zenith Blade, and you can have Udyr follow up like this, you probably can win these fights.
Absolutely. You know that it's a 4v5, potentially 4v3 before Riven can help collapse. Playing scared in your own jungle when you know you're ahead, I feel like now they're starting to do that. We're going to play to not lose. We're maybe not playing to win anymore. And unfortunately, this gold lead is starting to get out of control.
Yeah, it's ballooned to about actually 9K It's going to be really hard for him to come back in this game now. Soul Dragon is about to come up. Udyr would have loved to have had that. But
The extra move speed from Cloud Drake.
And Riven, this would be great for Riven too, because she's going to be even more mobile with the speed. The extra cooldown reduction or ultimate. Amumu gets another 10% off his ultimate. The move speed out of combat once you ult. So if he goes in ults, he can stick right too. You're not running away from this Mumu now because he has all that extra move speed.
Absolutely, and I feel like this is that moment where you have to go and try something. You really do. Cloud Soul for both teams is really good, but we see the
hard
Shen
engage
recalling
right now. Riven's top, you have to hard engage this.
You have to get, yes, you absolutely have to get in there. There's probably no point. Riven is now teleporting into the Dragon Pit. We've got a scattered team fight. It looks like Assassin Main's been caught out in the middle. Unfortunately, this is also Turbo Virgin. Oh, okay, he goes over the wall, but he's currently stuck between two members of their team. And this was a super easy team fight for Mikasa Dudes. This is going to be the Cloud Soul and probably the game.
That was goal difference there, because they did start the fight when they had an advantage for the moment before Riven TP'd in. But that's just goal difference. Like, you had to start the fight before. Shen should have never left. He should have stayed there. They should have just hard engaged. Have Udyr run in. Shen ults off him, gets as close as he can. Whatever you can do, but you have to engage at that point. Yeah.
Absolutely, because you're going to lose the top inhibitor probably regardless. We saw that the Riven actually stopped doing it to teleport into the fight. But the problem with that is that your inhibitor will eventually come back. You're never going to get another chance to get a Dragon Soul.
Yeah, and now they can definitely run you down. Udyr's the only one who can pretty much run away. They added move speed. It's going to be really hard to, like, when they choose a fight, you're just going to have to fight no matter what now. I mean, you can just run at them pretty much.
Absolutely, and this is probably a super free Baron take. Like I said, the last thing they want to do is face check into the Anivia Mumu combo. Another Baron going over to Mikasa Dudes, and
yeah, like pretty much you're just gonna have to all in and try to turn this thing around. Because even if you win like 2-3 team fights, you're still not back in this game because you can't take any objectives at this point, right?
Right.
You're not going to get any towers. Everything's pushed in. I mean, maybe you can push a lane out fast enough, but one lane's pushing, has supers running down. You really have to engage on them, like while they're split off, like right now when Riven's not there. She doesn't have TP.
Absolutely, and we're seeing it right now where Elite drops his ulti. We get the Sleepy Trouble bubble onto the Anivia, and they are piling on, but unfortunately it's probably a little too late. Not enough raw damage on the Anivia after getting caught, and
I commend him on trying though, because there's nothing else you can do. You're just gonna lose at this point, so you have to try for something. The goal difference is too big. You don't have the damage to do anything to a Mumu at this point. Like, he just tanks through everything while he's being healed. So you're just too far behind at that point. And
absolutely,
like I said, multiple picks to turn the game around. And if you can't get objectives off of them, it doesn't really do anything for you. But that is the end of the game right there. It was pretty exciting. I like the team comps. I think definitely the Mikasa played to their strengths a lot more. What was some of the defining moments of the game to you that stood out to you?
I think in general it comes to the objective control that the team comp of Mikasa Dudes had. I had mentioned before that I thought their team had a little bit of an identity crisis, but it kind of dawned on me around the second and third dragon fight that this is why you have the Anivia with the Amumu and the Pantheon and the Riven. You are saying to the enemy team, okay, funnel into this tight corridor, and we're going to drop all of our ults on you, and you're dead. And we saw time and time again that's what happened. We saw a flank by Jimmy Boobjob. He got into the back line, killed the Ezreal, was able to survive their entire team pouring damage onto him as he just slowly waddled his way to the Senna, who just healed him over and over again. And it was tragic to see that the Amumu didn't die. If you're retired gamers and you can't even get that guy dead after he's killed half your team and just kind of walk through, that has to be super demoralizing.
Yeah, you're just like, wow, he went in with like half his health, walked out with a quarter of his health, and we dumped everything on him. But yeah, it was a really fun game. It was really enjoyable. I wish we had another one today. Unfortunately, this will be the only game we have going today. We had a reschedule on the other one. But really appreciate everybody coming in and joining us. And I really hope you enjoyed the game. And you got to see Grizz's first cast. I hope he did well and was entertaining for you. Next week, we should have full 2 games at 8 and 9 Mountain Time. And please come by and watch us again. Really appreciate it. Jahadri should be back next week, so you'll have a much better play-by-play caster than me. I think Grizz even was better at it than I was.
I think you give me a little too much credit.
Well, that'll be that for us. As what does Jahadre say? This little production crew. We thank you for joining us and have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.